My name's Simon Elwood Thompson. I'm Head of Research IT at the Data Science Building, part of Swansea University Medical School. As part of the ongoing development of UK SERP, we've been working on plans for distributed analysis platform, and this presentation outlines what we are engineering and how it will work. We will have a minimum viable product by July this year. Swansea University, along with our partners in Northern Ireland, form one of the 6 HDI UK substantive sites. UK SERP hosts 15 major research platforms, such as the SAIL Databank. The platform is designed to not have to give data out, and the operating governance models do not actually allow it anyway. So accidentally, we have created 15 significant silos of data. This is why we have been considering the ways of federated data access within the governance bounds. Governance is key. It's not a technical design, it's a design that understands governance that is required. We need to respect local design choices and opinions. Cybersecurity and security is absolutely critical. There is not one size fits all, as the requirements will continually change as we go through the transition in the way of working and thinking. And of course, the operating costs and the sustainability costs really need to be taken into account. Different ideas of federated analysis exist, so even the concept is different between the bad partners, from simply counting things to performing complex data analysis. We should deliver the easy things now, but work for the more complex solution medium term, as this is where the true utility lies. We love clouds, you love clouds, everybody loves clouds. Public clouds, private clouds, hybrid clouds, etc. But we also love on-premise, and for certain parties, this must be embraced. By building our solution agnostically upon Docker and or Kubernetes, we can support local deployments and cloud deployments, leaving all options open. The 10,000-foot view, probably from a safe haven, although maybe over time this won't be required. There will be a project definition where all the parties have agreed to be part of the research project and allow access to the appropriate datasets. The research group will use the system to define queries and analysis. These will be queued and shipped out to the analysis nodes installed at each analyst site. Nodes will perform the code and return the required data. The design is one to be bolted onto the side of an established safe haven, such as SAIL Databank, DPUK, UK CRIS, ADRC, ALSPAC, etc., as well as other initiatives in Scotland and London. Our plan is to add capability, not replace or change anything about the way a safe haven is operated. So just running through this, we would provide access to a UI or programmatically through an API to facilitate the end user or the research group to build and execute the code needed to perform their analysis. This will be authorized through an agreed cross-site project being defined and outlining what capabilities should be enabled and which sites are signed up. The analysis payload will be scheduled and routed to the correct endpoint through the hub controller and placed on the gateway to be picked up by the agent installed at each analyst site. Obviously, high levels of encryption of both the payload and the transmission are built in. Each site will register against the gateway and will receive the configuration and project definitions. The nodes will pick up analysis payloads for execution and report progress and any defined results. The nodes will also describe, through the use of metadata, any datasets that are made available as well as any intermediate data created through the analysis phases. Available through a federated catalogue specific to the authorised research project. The agent will be installed into a site holding the dataset of interest. The agent is self-installable, and a site will be given a registration key to enable the agent to register with the gateway and analysis hub, enabling it to pull its configuration and project definitions. An agent can be registered with multiple gateways or safe havens so that we can enable a true network of hubs and nodes. But everything is defined within the context of an authorized federated project, defining which safe havens and what projects can access what subset of what dataset, and this will all be agreed and defined. On the agent, the project will have an ephemeral workspace created, and all code will be restricted to run in this space. The agent will hold a local database which can be used by the code, and data can either be provided into the space by the local site or appropriate project credentials can be supplied to allow the workspace to talk to a centrally provisioned database system or files. The workspace can run code in a number of environments, and we are starting with support for SQL, Python, R, Java, and some ETL tooling. We're also considering whether we should include SAS and access to third-party tooling. Any data that is returned can be automatically authorized or go through human inspection against the agreed project governance criteria. Split filing and the use of a trusted third party is supported. Through the initiative of the proof of concept in HJUK to provide a common data catalog tool, then we are hoping that this will be built into the agent to provide that local and federated data catalog view. We plan to add Medgate, which is our federated NLP solution, into this architecture as an optional component initially. Just talking about Medgate for a minute, we plan to rename Medgate mainly because we, in the near future, anticipate that we'll support other NLP engines other than just Gate. Medgate 2 will be therefore renamed to Fed NLP, which will be fully realigned with the proposed Fed DS system that we've just been talking about. It will still exist as a standalone project, as well as a new auto-scaling cluster version, which will be available later this year. By adopting the same overall architecture and component reuse, we can support routine data and federated NLP within the same framework and reuse capabilities. This will allow a federated NLP to be an auto-deployed component, which can be used by a project if it requires. NLP will be added as a pipeline runner extension. Medgate 2, or Fed NLP as it will be called, is already being developed to support, in addition to the Gate NLP engine, the CTAKES NLP engine, and Python. This integration will also allow R, Java, and any other supported running environment. There are plenty of directions to take this initiative in. So, for instance, Data Shield offers some great enhanced R commands. We can utilize the R execution environment to enable this, and we believe that Data Shield are working on a batch-based version, which could just call the Gateway API. Support for a common data model would greatly enhance the research utility of systems like this, and we are fully supportive and aligned to include the Odyssey toolset and embrace their defined OMOP version 4 common data model. Tools like Atlas could form an alternative end-user tooling and simply plug into our Gateway API to enable its code to be transmitted to the nodes. So this is a very natural partnership. We are already committed to embracing the HDR UK proof of concept in data catalog, and we would like to see this product providing an enhanced data catalog and discovery. And we look forward to working with the team to federate the catalogs in a secure way. We're currently looking at the issues involved with cross-site data analysis and the need for separate subsets of data to be passed between sites to enable analysis to be performed. There are plenty of governance challenges in this, but we think they are overcomable. And we're looking at a number of possible approaches, which are all feasible in different scenarios. So for more complex studies, there is a need for intermediate data to be pooled from the sites, and we are proposing for these types of projects that a new common virtualized safe haven be created that can be deployed in a standalone manner on a per project basis. This would sit within a safe haven to provide the outer security and control while maintaining autonomy and transparency to the project and the contributing data sites. It is planned that we can engineer the ability for a site to extend its governance reach from its site to this environment and maintain visibility of all activity and create a virtual data partial release space. Once the research findings are created, then each site will give its permission for release into the safe haven and therefore outside of its governance control. The final data release will be subject to the normal procedures of the hosting safe haven. This stuff is never done though, so thinking beyond this a little bit, federated, deterministic and probabilistic linkage, supporting a network effect while respecting disclosure risks associated with dataset membership. We have an operating model defined and the technology, but need funding to start the actual software development in this space. We want to link up with Oxford University and their developments of the data catalogue and look at interoperability, replication and discovery issues in this sort of wider picture. Federated container-based workloads to support reuse and deployment of entire workflows and pipelines. We are looking at how we can secure, contain, inspect, and perhaps certify incoming containers to ensure the payload does not pose a threat to the environment. Obvious deployments would be to link into the big national initiatives. And I think going forwards, there'll be a challenge to use the right compute for the right project while still staying within a secure environment. We think it's a very exciting time, some very exciting developments, and we'd love to hear from you if you are working in this space or you wish to collaborate or have a good idea for a real world problem. Thank you very much. Goodbye.